The Las Vegas Aces take down the Chicago Sky in Vegas. The final score of that game was 92-61. I mean, it was over from the start. Shout out to Jewel Lloyd, who had a really good game. She is someone who just is in a better position now than she was at the beginning of the year. With this team, it feels like she's really, really honing into herself, coming off the bench and providing sort of that additional leadership factor. We did see Aaliyah Nye get the start, which I thought was just fun to see. Yeah, I thought it was just fun to see. It's just, I mean, is Aaliyah Nye a starter over Jewel Lloyd? No. But Kirsten Bell did end up on the injury list. I believe she was a late add to the injury list. But Aaliyah Nye, she didn't score much in terms of points, but the thing I like about her is she's just constantly just giving energy. She's constantly moving. The talent level, I mean, she still has a ways to go in terms of improving to find some to find an even bigger role on a team. However, I like her with this Vegas Aces team. I like her energy. I like her movement. And I think the points will come as time goes on. Jewel Lloyd came off the bench, did well in this one. Also, y'all know who I'm going to say. Y'all know I'm going to talk about her. Dana Evans did well also. 13 points, 6 assists for Dana Evans off of the bench. That was, as always, good to see. A'ja Wilson, she was scoring in the first quarter and then basically didn't do much of anything from the rest of the game. Had 11 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. It felt like, the feet was off the gas. It's like, we won. And so, it didn't seem like as much of an effort to really, really, really ensure that A'ja Wilson stayed engaged throughout the entire game, because who cares? Like, you're playing Chicago. You're going to win. You were destroying them, and it's like, hey, A'ja can be out there, but she didn't really do much outside of the first quarter. But anyway, that's what happens. But as per usual, the story for Chicago, it was not who was on the team actually playing in the game. It was who was sitting on the bench. And that was none other than Angel Reese. Guys, I want to talk about this real quick, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna move on to other things that I think are more pressing to talk about, but gotta talk about it. So here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. First, I want to catch you all up on the Angel Reese situation, because it just feels like it just keeps going and going and going and going. And the question I have for you: is this a mountain or a molehill? Is this a mountain or a molehill? So the latest saga started with Angel's interview with the Chicago Tribune over a week ago. She said that she wasn't settling for the same blank, said that the Sky needed great players, thought that only her and Camilla were guarantees on next year's roster, specifically name dropped Courtney Vandersloot. Were any of her comments wrong? No, not really. I think most fans, most neutral observers of the Sky would agree with basically everything she said in that interview. But they stung because her teammates heard what she had to say, right? They're still in the locker room. They're still finishing out the season. And I think the specific name drop of Courtney Vandersloot really did make this way bigger than it should have been, right? Because other players have criticized teammates before. Other players have criticized what's going on. But I think it was the specific name drop of Sloot that really did mess things up, right? Players had a players only meeting. Angel apologized both privately and publicly. But the team still decided to suspend her for the first half of not this Aces game, but the Aces game a couple days ago, calling her comments detrimental to the team. Then, right before she's supposed to check in for the second half, boom, the Sky announced that she was out with a back injury. Now, Angel has missed the next game due to a back injury. And this is where things get a little bit murky. Is this just a precaution? Is it really her back, which has been messing up this year, and she has been out for some games due to her back injury? Or is there more to it? because it's not hard to wonder if the suspension and the fallout are connected to her back and the absence that we have now. It leads us to a big question, right? Angel Reese is the face of the Chicago Sky. She has, in a lot of ways, she has every right to demand more from the organization. But the way this all unfolded was damaging. It was. To her teammates, to the locker room, and now maybe to her relationship with the franchise. That's why I'm asking the question, is this a mountain or a molehill? And if you don't know the phrase, like, basically a molehill is tiny, like barely noticeable in the grand scheme of things, whereas a mountain is massive, impossible to ignore. So are we looking at a small distraction that feels right now big, but will eventually blow over by mid off season and as we go into training camp? Or is this a serious issue that could define Angel Reese's future with the Chicago Sky? I don't know. I'm hoping that this is a mountain. Hoping that this is a molehill, but I'm wondering, is this a mountain? I don't know. Right now, I don't know the answer, but how Angel and the Sky front office decides to handle the next few weeks will kind of tell us everything. Ultimately, for the most success for the Chicago Sky, I do think they need to figure out a way to be like, hey, Angel, we felt like we had to do it. Let's talk about the suspension, yada, yada, yada. You are the future of this team. We do want you fully bought in. What can we do to make you more comfortable next year? Ultimately, that needs to be the conversation. Now, with the track history, the track record of the Chicago Sky and how they've had big name players leave in the past, I don't know if they make that decision to be like, you know what, Angel, what do you want? Let's try to make that happen, right? I don't know if they do that because they've shown from Elena Delle Donne to Sylvia Fowles to, to Candace to Ka, they have shown that, like, they're fine with letting players go. And so I'm hoping that they can be like, hey, what do you want, Angel? Who do you want to see on your team next year? Let's make this happen. But the track record shows that they likely will not do that, which is unfortunate because so Angel goes, so does a chance for us to be decent in the next 2 years, because it's obvious players want to play with Angel. And if once we get that new practice facility, it does make it, and we're going to do a full deep dive on the practice facility. I am going to the practice facility on tomorrow. I'm going to go to the practice facility. I'm going to, not the current one. I'm going to go to the one that they're building so I can take video footage of what the progress looks like. And we're going to talk about the new timeline and all that good stuff. So that's happening tomorrow. So I'll talk more about the practice facility tomorrow. I know some of y'all tagged me on some stuff. We're going to talk about the practice facility soon, okay? But yeah, this is a whole nightmare. I do think that they need to just say, hey, we're riding with Angel and Camilla, and everybody else has to get in line or leave. However, I don't think that happens. We'll see.